Okay, we got 22 minutes. We can do this. You have selected Regicide. The wards barring the access to the King's Sanctuary can only be nullified through the use of enchanted keystones. The self-same method employed 5 years ago when the king was first summoned to Eorzea. It was with great regret that we were forced to sanction the slaying of the guardians who then held the keystones, for none were in our possession at the time. By the grace of the elementals, however, we have been spared that burden on this occasion. Kuplo Kop confided in me that he had been entrusted with a set of keystones by the Moggle's Guard themselves, yet wishing not to betray their confidence, he begged me to find some other means of gain entry to the King's Sanctum. Alas, I have been unable to do so and dare not labor any longer, for fear that Moogles might succumb to the corrupting influence of their liege lord. We must needs have Kuplo Kop's keystones, old. Pray go to him and beg his assistance. He awaits you at Whetstone Pier. Impress upon him our great need, and I'm certain he will yield. Okay. Okay, but where is Kuplo Kop? Okay, well, he's in town. Great. I could have noticed that by looking in the looking at the mini map. We'll just hustle on over there. I'm all tuckered. Or we could stop being stupid and teleport a little bit closer. Hey, yo. How we doing? So, how will you do it, Kupo? Oh, he told you about that. Well, if there's truly no other way, I'll do it, Kupo. Take the ferry to Sweet Bloom Pier. I'll go on ahead. To Sweet Bloom Pier? Whoa there. Those are some big Moogles. Don't you dare lie to me, Kupo. I know what you're planning, and I won't allow it. Open your eyes, Kupo. The king will never be satisfied, no matter how many crystals you bring him. We offered you a choice, and this is how you repay us? By consorting with this here? Imperials, Gridanians, Sylphs, you're no different from the rest of them. Actually, you're worse, Kupo. Traitor to his kinsmoggles, he plots treason against the crown. Enough. Kuplo Kop will answer for his crimes soon enough, as will all who defy the will of good King Moggle Mog the 12th. May he reign forevermore, Kupo. The king is planning to purge the 12's wood of his enemies, Kupo. We've got to stop him before it's too late. The entrance to Thornmarch is deep within the bramble patch, Kupo. If you take me there, I can nullify the ward, but be warned, the Moogle's Guard has set traps to lure enchanted beasts. I can't hide from them, so you'll need to protect me, Kupo. Escort Kuplo Kop safely to the warded entrance. Should you fail to defend him or move too far away, I'll return to Sweet Bloom Pier, where you may rendezvous with him before trying again. Escort quest. Are you coming? Are you following me or am I following you? Funga! You're gonna... We just cut through here. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Did you hear that? Yep, malevolent squirrels. Just another Tuesday for me. Followed by a Galago. Oh no! They're beating up my Moogle. He can't take this. You coming? I guess more attacks right here. Alright, I'll get you. Where are the seedlings? They're over here. We made it. We're here, Kubo. You don't see any more beasts. I don't see any more beasts, do you? I don't. Are you ready to face the king, Kubo? Then step closer to the ward. Raise your hand and focus, like when you attune to an aetheryte. Kubo, I'll open the way for you. Like so. The rest is up to you, Kubo. Now go and teach those foolish Moogles a lesson, and send the king back to whence he came. I mean, I'm still in the quest. We gotta keep going. Can I join with NPCs? Is there something special? No. Stop it. There's a way to do this. See, PvPs. This is the first time it hasn't asked me if I want to queue with NPCs. Yeah, I not do this. I thought you'd do the whole thing solo. No, so you can't do this trial with the. I got to Thorn March hard in this game. Notice you can't do this trial with NPCs, but only with other players. Is there a reason you can't do this with NPCs? There's only 3 trials that allow the use of trust. Everything else has to be done with players. No? Thorn March and onwards. That's not true, right? Most of the 8-man content, even the mandatory ones, cannot be done with NPCs. I guess this is one of the ones. Yo, good morning, Friday. Yeah, good morning to you too, Nathan Mom. How you doing? We're just waiting patiently to queue up for Thorn March. See, now I feel compelled to study. Let's see, wave 1. This guide's too complicated. I just need like a 5-line synopsis. So sleepy here. It's a Friday night. You don't really need to study for the casual trials. Okay. Yeah. I know I don't. I'm just still compelled to do it. Like, I feel like there was a gimmick to this one. Like, you needed to kill them in a certain order. Like, am I wrong in that? But yeah, this is why, like, I haven't been able to, like, fully commit to Final Fantasy XIV on my own. Like before, you'd have to like do everything with other people. And I never want to be the reason like why like a raid fails or something. Like I take that that way too personally. And so like even though it's easy and there's like a 99% chance of success, like I still feel compelled to study. And I know it's silly, but that's how I do. That kind of stuff matters on extreme, but not on normal. It's a bit chaotic, but rarely an issue. Yeah. Mr. Sugarheart, do you know about Detroit Become Human? I do. I do. Would you like me to play that? Like I do request. Yesterday I did Mechabellum. There's basically 3 things that make me play a game. 1, I have to want to play it. Like, I can't play a game I don't find interesting. But luckily, I find most games interesting, so, like, that's usually not an issue. 2, a viewer has to recommend the game. Like, to show me, like, one of my viewers actually cares about the game. And that's requirement number 2. And requirement number 3, I've got analytics tools that tell me if people will actually watch it if I put it on YouTube. And so, like, it's got to be something that me, you, and strangers want to see. And, like, Detroit Become Human's kind of up there. It's a little dramatic. Like, I'm a little less interested because, like, I kind of spoiled the entire game by watching other people play it. Oh, you wish to make a cool game like that, but you prefer to do the pixel RPG? Well, I encourage that. Do you have like a game engine in mind? Are you a software developer? You don't need to be to make a game, but it helps. Jumping Jiggas. Can I say that on stream? Can I pet them? Where's my pet emote? I got pay respects. And give him a little hug. Ah. There is a pet option. There we go. Oh, if I play the game, you'll be crying joy? Okay. I'm playing too many games at once. I probably shouldn't, but I'll check my analytics tool, see if it's something people want me to play. And honestly, I've had good experience with like classic games. Like going back and playing Inscription or Dave the Diver or Subnautica. Like even though the games have been out for a while, like they still draw an audience. Like people just love really good old games. And so like Detroit Become Human's up there for me. Outer Wilds is another one I need to play. And like that one's on the menu for like when we don't have cool new games coming out. But really, what I need to do is finish up Satisfactory and Chef RPG. And that'll free up more time. And honestly, I might commit the time to like finishing out a Realm Reborn. To open up my schedule a little bit more. Would I be good side or evil side in the Detroit game? Is there good and evil? I mean, I thought it was a little more philosophical than that. Like, what's really true? What's really real? Are robots people? Are people robots? That sort of thing. Well, oh man. Average wait time 5 minutes, my butt. I need to get the kids to school. Am I thinking of the right Detroit Become Human? Did they ever, like, make a sequel or something? I remember there being, like, a robot detective with his grizzled human partner as, like, one aspect of the story. Or you mean being a good robot for your boss, or breaking the robot rules to do the right things? You'd join if you weren't at work? Yeah, that's fair. It would ease my social anxiety if, like, people joined through the chat for, like, 8-man groups. But, like, I don't think I have enough of a following for that. I, Robot the movie? Or, you love that game you played from start to finish? Yeah. For story games, historically, and, like, historically being, like, most of my life, because I've only become a streamer recently, I would play story games, or I wouldn't play story games, I'd watch a story game. So, like, Until Dawn got, like, a remake recently, and, like, I can't play that because I watched somebody else play it. Like, I just couldn't justify, like, $60 for, like, a 10-hour game or a 20-hour game. Like, that was just me. So, like, story games like Detroit Become Human, even though they were beautiful and good, like, I could get all the enjoyment I needed out of them just by watching somebody else play. Now that I'm a streamer, I feel a little more compelled to be that somebody else. And so, like, I have played, like, a few, like, 8-hour games for, like, $60. Which normally I would not do. But, like, someone's got to play these games, right? I'm still trying to get over the fact I just paid $70 for Silent Hill 2. Zame, you tend to watch a lot of games, you know, that you won't have time to play. Well, find the ones that call to you and we will watch. Yeah. I will do. I've noticed visual novels don't work as much as I expected them to when streaming. Like, nobody watched me play Sovereign Syndicate. Yeah, I had very few viewers during Tavern Talk. Like, it's, you know, I'm not shaming anybody for not watching, but, like, I thought, like, the audiobook style of gameplay would be a little more appealing. But no, people like fun games with action, and I don't blame them. You love the details about future possibility things that the game are presenting, right? And you don't have, when you don't have time, you watch. Enjoyable, yeah. It's a specialty niche. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I just haven't built up the audience for it. There's like a trick to getting an audience for a game. Well, there's many tricks to getting an audience for a game. If I wanted people to watch my visual novel content, what I would do is I would like 100% a visual novel, like get every path down, write down exactly how you get what to happen, and then you would write like a guide or several guides online to get people to like drive through it. And then the next time you play a visual novel, all the visual novel fans who like saw that content would pop in. That's why I get tons of viewers for like cozy games, because I wrote a guide for like Coral Island or for Fae Farm. I've found that to work. So like whenever I play a cozy game, I get tons of viewers. You say play all the games that call to you and have playlists for each niche so we can choose what works for us. You still need to get people there to begin with. Like, it's like being in the middle of a field on a couch playing games on a TV. Like, you can't just expect people to show up. You have to do something for them too. You are definitely cozy, true, right? So like, you know, you gotta set out the plate of cookies and say like free cookies. Like, you gotta bring people in somehow, because there's a million people in this field playing a million different games on a million different couches. If you got like a sign that says like, I will teach you how to beat this boss, like that helps. I mean, not saying it can't work another way, but putting in a little extra effort makes it a little quicker. Take like the streaming struggle from like being a 20-year process to a 10-year process. It might interest you. I've been doing my analytics to see where I stand in like my dream of becoming a full-time streamer. And at my rate of growth, I am in the 90 to 95th percentile for like streamers after their first year. And so like I've gotten an A in content development. Granted, it's about 10 years before this becomes a full-time job. So like we're 1 year into it. We're in the initial growth phase where like I build like just a few super fans like you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. Cozy games are satisfying too. Maybe you have a special buff for cozy games. I do have a special buff for cozy games. It's my wholesome streamer face. Nice. Hey, I still love that rave emote. Hi, kitty. You want to chime in and say things? I appreciate it. Things happen and boost in growth. It's always possible to cut a few years, yeah. What the growth rate is for a streamer is logarithmic. And right now, I'm in this weird phase where like the growth is there and it's happening, but like I haven't kicked into an exponential growth yet where it like just spikes up and flies at a ridiculous rate. Like, we're getting close. Like, I've currently had my best month ever of streaming. Like, this month, we made $100, which I am investing right back into the stream. I'm not sure how. Like, lately, I've just been buying a lot of new games and playing like 5 at once, which seems to have been working. And so I might keep that up for as long as it works. But, like, part of me is like, man, I really want to finish some games. But yeah. Like, I've got a lot of people watching on YouTube right now, which is very unusual. Normally, I'm streaming to people on Twitch and have, like, 0 viewers on YouTube. But, because of, like, a latest surge in, like, my Satisfactory videos, YouTube started recommending my live content to people who may be interested. And so, like, it's become more of a 50-50 split. You realize learning streaming and talking with you that you're more of a YouTuber who streams instead of a streamer who posts to YouTube, and there is a difference. There's so many different ways to do it. And there's, like, ways that kind of guarantee success. Like, when you do your research, like, as a starting streamer and, like, try to figure out, like, what content you should do, everyone recommends, they recommend, not streaming video games, not, like, posting episodes or VODs or things like that. And they do that because, like, they'll get very few views. Like, on paper, that's a terrible idea. They say, like, just make guides, do fun special challenges, do something instead of just playing video games. And they say that because, like, that's a way to guarantee, like, some level of success. Like, I say guarantee, but you can still make terrible content and people won't watch. But, like, people will click on those videos, assuming you made a nice enough thumbnail and title. The thing is, I have to do what I intend to do in the future. And so if I was making tutorial videos my entire life and not, like, you know, doing full playthroughs, when I switched to full playthroughs, you would lose, like, a ton of your audience because they expected a certain thing of you. And then, like, all of a sudden you drop off to nearly nothing. You shed a lot of light you're confused about with this. I try to be. What I need to do is post more content on, like, what I've done as a streamer, why it's worked, what I wish I'd done differently, what I wish stayed the same. Like, for one, that's great content. Everybody wants to play video games for a living, and so, like, everybody needs to know. And I have the unique experience of trying as hard as I can from nothing to get where I am. Normally people, like, succeed as a YouTuber and then they make videos on, like, how to do these things. But, like, nobody, like, goes I've done this for a year and this is how it went. This is exactly how much money I made. This is where my views come from. This is what I was told to do, and this is what I did instead. Things like that. It's wild because that's what was told to you with silent awareness. No one wants to see you spinning, and you went viral 4 times. I wanted to see you spinning. I loved your spinning videos. I think when you're doing what works for you, then people come. Well, my average impression click-through rate is 2.5, which is not going to go viral on YouTube. You just can't go viral with a rate like that. You need a click-through rate of above 7% to, like, go viral. And, like, I get close sometimes. Like, the reason Satisfactory took off is I got, like, a click-through rate of, like, 6. And so that's worth about 1,000 views. maybe 2,000. But like the average video gets like 4 or 5, and that's fine. I'm going the volume route, and it's working. I know a lot of famous VTubers, like I've been following Giga lately, Geega, and she's very open about like how she creates content, what it does, how much money she makes. And she'll like post a heavily edited video that took a lot of time and money to make, and it'll make like $150. Meanwhile, I post 7,000 videos, and it adds up to about $100. But I didn't put nearly in the amount of effort, time, or money that she puts in. And so, like, I'm going the quantity route rather than the quality route. I've got to put out quality videos too, but like my main theory is quality. Like that's my special skill. Like, people get burnt out playing video games. I don't. No matter how much, like, people think I will, and a lot of people do get burnt out playing games. But, like, according to Steam Replay, even having very young children and a full-time job and other interests, I still put in 40 hours a week playing video games. And I play video games every single day, and I have, like, my entire life. And so, like, that's my strength. Like, I can play a wide variety of games and never get burned out. Like, I'm making that claim, and I'd love to see if, even I can get burnt out playing video games. I just don't think it's possible. Oh yeah, that's the approach you're taking. Personal growth. People gravitate because they're quiet. You confuse themselves, right? Like a lot of people just like have questions that need answered, and if you answer them, that's how you get more people. Like, I feel like eventually I'm just going to be an advice streamer. People will log in and be like, "Old man, my marriage is on the rocks, help. You're old, you know things, you've seen some stuff." And I'll be like, "Buy her flowers." Or don't. People are individuals and have different interests, and so what may appeal to some people don't appeal to your wife. Yada yada. You'll hope you make a lot of money like her ASAP. According to my projections, if I double my income every year from streaming, I will be able to quit my day job in 8 years. Basically, I'm working until I can hire myself as a full-time employee. Because right now, any money I make goes straight back into the stream. And we're going to keep doing that until the best thing I could possibly do for the stream is pay myself to stream. And so, like, I have to make a more compelling offer than my day job, which is currently, enough to live on. Please do an Ask Old Man live streams. Everyone says, like, the just chatting category is the place to grow your audience. And, from what I've seen, it's true. Like, like I said, I was studying Giga, and she posted the metrics, like, why do you chat for 2 hours before you play games? And then she posted a graph that was like, here's me chatting for 2 hours, and her audience just keeps going up and up. And then, like, the point where she switches to like playing a game and then it just like slowly goes back down. I'm like, oh, okay. You think Rhythm Doctor, you won't get burned out? See, I do get burned out on specific games. And I get burnt out fast. Like the series of like micro burnouts. Like, this is probably the hugest endeavor that I'm willing to try. Because if I get... Ugh. I have to do a part 2 of this episode. I need to get my kids to school like 20 minutes ago. I can't play a game for more than 100 hours. That's like my weakness. Like, I get bored super quick. Like, I've got a bad habit of never finishing JRPGs. Like, I've got Visions of Mana and Octopath Traveler 2 just sort of dangling out there waiting for me to finish them. And I loved both of them, but, like, I'm like, I've got 40 more hours of exactly this. I need more different. You live over there? Where's over there? Oh, in the just chatting category? COVID really messed us up. People are lonely and need connections, so that makes sense. There's a loneliness epidemic currently. And so just being available as like a non-threatening figure to talk to is hugely valuable. Like, there's a big market for that. That's part of the reason I feel like I can succeed as a streamer, is like, I'm just a chill person to talk to. And I will not judge you. There was somebody in here earlier whose name was like Bad Loodle, which, you know, implies some sort of sexiness that I do not currently bring to the table. But like, I'm not going to judge her for her lewd behavior or conduct or content or desires. This is just a safe space for everybody. You understand that to the core. Get the kiddos to school. Yeah. And just chatting. Yep. Chef RPG Chef RPG spend the time too much, even just watching. You have to skip your exercise one day, but it's worthy enough. Well, you don't have to skip your exercise, I hope. I mean, like, if you're watching on a desktop and, you know, you need to go exercise. Exercise is important. I mean, like, that's a cure for depression. Honestly, it's a cure for ADHD, too. Like, I read about Adderall and, like, what it does to the brain, and I'm, like, trying to, like, figure out how to, like, get that in my life. Like, how can I trigger these chemical imbalances? And honestly, it's just like, go outside, exercise, enjoy sunlight, eat healthy. And I'm like, I don't want to do any of those things. You already skipped exercise? Yeah. It's alright to skip once in a while. You took a mental health day from exercise. That's fair too. Don't beat yourself up. Alright. I've been waiting in this queue for 30 minutes. The average wait time jumped up to 30 minutes. I am now the average person. I've got to get the kids to school. Thank you so much for watching. Join me next week for part 2, where I fight Good King Moggle Mog.